Hi, in this tutorial we'll be taking a look at some of the smaller Nodegraph enhancements that are part of Mari Extension Pack 4. Now first off, we have a new set of selection options under the new selection submenu here. So we have select all, select none and select upstream. These options work based on the current graph tab. So if I go into a graph group and choose, for example, select all, I will only have selected all the nodes inside of the graph group and nothing outside of the graph group. The select upstream option will select all nodes upstream from your current node selection, as you can see here, so you can easily move things around from a certain point. Under the edit menu, we have a new duplicate with connections. Let me actually make a selection first. The duplicate with connections will maintain all your input connections from your current selection, so you don't have to hook them up twice. This is different from the Mari default duplicate, which will make a loose selection or loose duplicate of your current selection. Now there are unfortunately a bunch of limitations. As you've seen, I had to manually move the node away from the original position because Mari currently does not allow me to space out the node after duplication. More of a bug than a limitation is the nodes with multiple outputs. So if I have a node such as the region here, which has multiple outputs, you can see here A, B, C, and D, and I were to duplicate the node where all these outputs are connected to, unfortunately Mari at the moment will connect all these multiple outputs to the first output. So basically this is no longer a real duplicate of this node because all the inputs are now connected to the output A, in fact. So this is a bug that I hope that the Foundry allows us to fix very soon. At the moment, unfortunately, this is not possible. So I kind of have to point out this limitation. So this is currently in Mari 3.2 and Extension Pack 4 R1. Hopefully in the future, this can be fixed. Next up, we have some renaming tools for nodes. So we have the multi-rename nodes option. So this works obviously on one node as well as on multiple nodes. So if I were to go to the multi-rename nodes tool, you can see we have a very comprehensive renaming tool set. So I can, for example, add a prefix to my nodes. So you can see now I've prefixed everything. I can remove the prefix again. I can do a search and replace, or I can remove multiple words. For example, if I were to actually add a prefix and a suffix as well. So now you can see I've added both a prefix and a suffix. And if I want to remove those again, I can remove all and just add test underscore, comma, and then underscore suffix. And now I'm back to my original. The remove trailing characters option is very useful if you have duplicates of nodes. So for example, if I were to copy and paste this node, you can see I'm getting this number 2 attached to the node name. And if this happens on a lot of nodes, it's quite tedious to clean up. So with the trailing character removal, I can just simply get rid of all these extra characters. The case sensitivity mode is fairly self-explanatory, and the only selected nodes, I think, as well. Basically, if it's on, it'll only work on anything that is selected. If I turn this off, it means that the rename nodes will run on the entire graph, but again, only on the current graph tab. So if I'm in the edge group, for example, it would only run inside of the edge group. If I turn on include group contents, then if in the current graph tab a group is found, the renaming will go deep and go into the group name as well and start renaming stuff inside there as well. And if there's another group in there, it would go further and further and further. But if this is turned off, then it would stay in the current graph tab. The next additions concern breakpoints. We don't really have any options here. These are all standard Mari options because all the options kind of have been exposed in the script section in here, breakpoint. So we have bake selected breakpoints and set use bake on and off. Why did I not expose those in the menu? Well, for a variety of reasons. For example, the bake selected breakpoints is actually a feature of Mari 3.3, but because I'm currently in Mari 3.2 and it's a very handy feature to have, I kind of added it still in. And so it's under the Nodegraph section here. And basically, if I create a breakpoint or two, doesn't matter, and just hook these up autosave continue first. And if I select the 2 bake points and choose bake selected bake points, Mari will bake all these nodes down. So let's give this a second. So you don't have to manually go inside the node and choose bake on every node. The other option is we set use bake on and off. So you can see we have a little checkbox on each bake point, be use baked. And if I toggle this off, it'll be off, I guess. And what it does is, at the moment, this bake point is a flattened version of my edge gizmo. And with use baked turned off, basically the bake point is no longer in use, and it's kind of like passing the live information still through. With use baked on, it would still only evaluate the bake point itself and not any node behind the bake point. Now again, why did I not expose this? Because personally, I just like to use the disable option. So we have a disable option here, or D. And if I press D, basically the same thing happens. The bake point is no longer evaluated and I'm getting the information straight from the edge point. So this is why I personally don't really use the use bake feature. However, I added it in for completion.